Legendary isn't the word for a place like Steve's Lunch. The interior color was a kind of yellow that can only be experienced and would be impossible to replicate. The items you could order were written on a dry erase board, so faded that it was hard to read. It wasn't like the writing was smudged or anything like that, but the cold, stale breath of Father Time had withered. The writing was smudged. It wasn't like the writing was smudged or anything like that, but the cold, stale breath of Father Time had weathered the writing on it. Father Time is indeed undefeated, and he was sure hard on Steve's Lunch. It's
true.
That's all you need to say. The specials are written on a bizarre neon paper with Sharpie markers and randomly taped to different parts of the wall. Last time I was there, I asked why they had a wooden door instead of the old screen door type thing they had, and they said they had been robbed and added the wooden door as a security measure. What the fuck? The OG Steve, who founded the place, had long since passed away, but there was a Xerox blown-up copy of his obituary taped to the coffee maker. Oh, and the jukebox is at the corner. They were out of commission, but if you ever find the instrumental version of Hey Ya by Outkast in another jukebox anywhere in the Midwestern United States of America, I'd be shocked. There was even a circular spilled drink stain on the ceiling. This is the inverted, infinite, impossible ultra void that Steve's Lunch existed in, an utter vacuum where logic, time, and everything in the dimension we know is inapplicable. The food was as strange as the interior. The hot dogs were great, but anyone who has ever eaten there knows this food damages your body in unspeakable ways. It was part of the charm, a take one for the team mentality. I can't count how many times Steve the Third, or maybe he was Steve the Sixth, burned my fries. He once passed out standing up at the griddle and was too injured to fucking work. They also had mystery items that nobody bought, like the Western salmon. My pal from Montreal came down once and ordered it, and even the cook didn't know what it was. Interior and food aside, Steve's Lunch had a vibe that operated on its own terms. You could go on a Saturday night because you'd think it'd be wild in there and it'd be completely empty. Or you could go on a Wednesday during a blizzard and the place would be packed with turned-up heads for no reason at all. I've seen a woman at the counter eating a hot dog turned upside down with all the chili and shit falling all over the place, and when someone next to her asked if she was okay, he got a plate of fries to the face. A buddy of mine drunkenly blew a big fat gator tail of Coke off the counter while my other pal was passed out at the counter. Dooley once threatened to tase a Mexican, a Hispanic, a black dude, a white dude, all while efficiently helping get orders out in a timely fashion. What are we going to do with this place? I'm just going to get ahead here. I remember spending time at Steve's when I didn't know what to do with myself or where to go. If I had anxiety in the middle of the night, sometimes I'd just go to Steve's. In the joy of company or in the sadness of my solitude, Steve's was a place I knew would never change. It couldn't change. It was impossible. I even spent a shitty Christmas Eve there a few years back with a pal. Everything is different now. Everybody at the scene of the fire today said it just exploded. As a Clevelander and as a guy who understands the metaphysical nuances of life as it pertains to Steve's Lunch, this realization couldn't be more profound. It exploded. This place was open for 60 years straight, over half a century, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and the damn place goes skyward on St. Patrick's Day. This is the Cleveland equivalent of 9/11. The last time Steve's was willfully closed was when Kennedy got assassinated. Sad as I am to see Steve's lunch go, its demise couldn't have been any better. The engine just seized up, its legs gave out, the place just blew up. Amazing. Now, when speaking in myths about how singular Steve's lunch was, when the next out-of-towner asks to visit the place, you can just say, no, it blew up. I'm thankful for the times I spent there with the people I love and for the great hot dogs. I'll close my long overdue review with a Jacques Derrida quote that jibes situationally. This is the most hard thing to understand all night. I have no idea what this means. What else is there to love anyway? I practiced reading this part even. What else is there to love anyway? One cannot love a monument, a work of architecture, an institution as such, except in an experience itself, precarious in its fragility. It hasn't always been there. It will not always be there. It is finite. And for this reason, I love it as mortal, through its birth and its death, through the ghosts or the silhouettes of its ruin of my own, which it already is or already prefigures. How can we love except in this finitude? Where else could the right to love, indeed the love of right, come from?